Hi, I'm Casey Pelkey, Vice President of Marketing with Tetris Online, and I'm here to show you Tetris Party Deluxe. Last October, we launched Tetris Party for WiiWare, and this new Tetris Party Deluxe builds on that particular title. First, I want to jump into the single-player modes and highlight a few new features. One of the things that we did in the game, in fact across all the modes, is to look for ways to not only add new modes, but add new features to the modes. So in the case of Field Climber, the goal was to race your field climber to the top of the matrix, and we added a new option called Everest mode. When the Everest mode is activated, it'll actually allow the player to continue up as high as they can possibly get, and there are some different obstacles in the way. There's items that you have to collect. Moving forward to a different mode, Shadow. Shadow is a game, it's a puzzle game where you're trying to fill the silhouette. And Shadow is a game that was really well received. It's a different game. It takes the Tetris element and uses the actual tetraminos, or the minos shapes themselves. And as you're trying to fill out the silhouette, in this case, you'll see that you've got a heart, and the goal is to try to get 100% of the silhouette filled without going outside of it. And you can create your own custom shadow, and with the shadow you can actually, once you've developed it, you can not only set the rules to it. So for instance, you can say I only want to limit to 5 skips or maybe even 50 skips. Then you can use this in multiplayer. And the real fun part about this is there's really nothing to stop you from continuing to go in here and make all the different edits that you need. And so you can continue to refine your shadows. You can play test them and give you a little bit of test of what it takes to build a game. For our advanced players, we added a new feature in here called Master Mode. And Master Mode is something that is really focused on a core player. And in Master Mode, you'll notice that there's really no sense of the tetraminos actually dropping. They drop as fast as they appear on the screen. And this is definitely something that we recommend to familiarize yourself with the general gameplay mechanics, get set up on a game like Marathon, for example, and then go into Master. Master is something that is a little bit more core in nature, but once you improve your gameplay skills with Master, you'll be a force to be reckoned with in the multiplayer world. Another interesting mode that we added was, or that we had, which is Stage Racer. Stage Racer is when you're actually racing the tetramino down a set matrix. But the nice thing about Stage Racer is that two things have been added to it. One is the Abyss mode, so that instead of having a definitive end line, you can actually continue down the matrix. But the other option is the Wii Wheel. And we know that there's a lot of players that have the Wii Wheel from the popularity of Mario Kart, etc. And so with the Wii Wheel, you can actually steer your way down the course. So the nice thing here is this mode was actually designed to help teach right and left rotation. So most players tend to use only one rotation, where it's typically a clockwise rotation. But if you actually use left and right rotation, it'll let you get through precarious situations and actually let you teach you different moves. And then to reach back for a little bit of a nostalgic version of Tetris, we've added a popular version from the past called Bliss. And Bliss is essentially taking the core Tetris game and then adding bombs to it, but also adding new designs of Mino shapes. So the objective here is to use these special Mino shapes to clear lines, much like you would do in a regular Tetris game. However, you now have these little red dots that symbolize bombs, and when you clear a line with a dot in it, that will actually start an explosion. The more explosions that happen, you get a chain reaction that gives you an all clear and allows you to progress to the next level. Now, of course, a Tetris party wouldn't be a party without lots of multiplayer action. So we've added lots of new things to the multiplayer. You've got all of your great modes. In the versus mode, one thing that we've added is the versus battle auto handicap, and that'll essentially take a player who may not be as strong as the other competitors and give them the advantage by penalizing the other players with additional obstacles. Essentially, the game will create a bit of a disadvantage for the stronger player by, after watching a few games happen, add additional obstacles, and those obstacles will definitely give the weaker player the advantage, and hopefully at the end of the day, when both players match up, it'll be more of an even battle and avoid the weaker player, so to speak, from having to play practice mode for the entire round while the other two players are going to town on large battle modes. And you can see, of course, the items are added in there, and we have all the items from the WiiWare game, plus we've added some new items. The items are focused on not only using the remote. There's a confuse item which reverses the rotation, so what you think is going to rotate right will rotate left. There's a new mode, or a new item that was added that will actually capture the next piece and repeat it consecutively. One of the other modes that we've added into the game, and this is a mode that came from the co-op mode, which is where two people play in an extra wide matrix. A lot of people really enjoyed this, but they asked, how do I take advantage of the two other people who are sitting in the room? So of course we came up with co-op versus co-op. And in co-op versus co-op, you're essentially playing two people against two people. It's cooperatively, so you have to work together, and you're basically trying to clear lines much like you would in a regular game of Tetris. This is a game that's definitely based on the feedback that we received on the original co-op game, that's going to definitely create some excitement in the gaming world. A lot of people had asked for this, and this is one of those cases where the players got what they asked for, and Hudson did a great job of implementing this new mode. And we've added Versus Sprint. Versus Sprint is the fastest person to clear the 40 lines, and so we thought it would be definitely interesting to have a full-on race. And the nice thing about Versus Sprint is because you're set on the amount of lines that you have to clear, it makes for faster matches. So this is definitely a game where if you've got 4 people playing and you've got only so much time to play a bunch of races, this is a game where you can have a lot of fun with. And there's also an auto handicap feature for this as well, so that if you're just trying to figure out how to play the game, you can see on the left, we've got a player that's actually quite advanced, but the other players are still trying to pick up the pace. And of course, with Tetris Party Deluxe, there's the online play. And the online play, we think people are going to be really happy about the fact that all of the players who are currently playing the online version of Tetris Party for WiiWare will also be available in the community to play against the players with Tetris Party Deluxe. So there's going to be a huge worldwide battle there. This is already an installed base, and that'll be available in June when both Tetris Party Deluxe for Wii and DS come out.